Welcome to the Heavy Spoilers Show. I'm your host Paul, and we're about to have a whale of a time with everyone's favourite sex pest, the Deep. This video is going to be filled to the gills with everything that you need to know about the character, and throughout it we'll be going over his power set, his full arc throughout the show, and the character's comic book differences. There will be some spoilers here, so if you haven't had a chance to check out up to episode 7 of season 2, then I highly recommend that you turn off now. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for videos like this every day, and please smash that thumbs up button if you enjoy the video. Now before we get into the breakdown though, I just want to let you know that this video is sponsored by Fresca, the great tasting citrus drink that will make you sign over your entire life to the Church of the Collective. The link's going to be in the description, and get 50% off your first order with the code BALLSDEEP. Make sure you do it now to get a free wife with every drink, and turn your life around in more ways than one. Yay. Okay, so the Deep is pretty much the boys' version of Aquaman. Captain Obvious here giving you the facts, but in order to talk about his power set, we first have to acknowledge that the pair share a lot of similarities. Primarily, he possesses all of the enhanced abilities that come with being a child, injected with Compound V, and along with his superhuman strength, the character is also super durable. This means that he can lift more than most humans, and also withstand a lot more damage without feeling any pain. Because of this, the character is able to survive not only hitting water from great heights, but also the pressures that come with traversing the ocean floor. In the second season, the Deep mentions swimming in the Mariana Trench, which has an atmospheric pressure that is 1,000 times of what one would experience at sea level. This means that his body is completely hardened to the elements, and it would take an extreme amount of force to damage him. However, he does have a weak point, and that is his hideous gills. You disgust me. Now, we've seen that when something is placed inside of them, that this causes him immense physical pain, and if anyone ever decided to take him down, this would likely be how they'd go about it. Now, because of the aforementioned gills, the Deep is able to breathe underwater and swim at super speeds that far outmatch mortal men. On top of this, he's also able to telepathically communicate with all forms of sea life, and in his head he can have complete conversations with them. The character developed this ability at 9 years old, and since then he's formed friendships with fish at the beach, barbecues and aquariums. Do they barbecue fish? I don't know, it just sounded good. Now this means that he can command them, and in season 2 we learn that he actually had some halibut investigate the wreckage of the plane from the first season. In the comic, he was actually involved in this crash, and during the scene we saw that the character could fly, though that doesn't seem like it's been brought across. Now the Deep in the show differs highly from the comics, and in the first season, though we see him sexually assault Starlight, in the original work he wasn't present when this happened. Instead, A-Train, Homelander and Black Noir were the ones behind it, but they obviously decided to use the character to show the fall of one of the seven. The comic version is also African, and he never removes his helmet as he says it's held in place because of an Atlantean curse. In the source material, he's actually not that bad of a guy, and compared to the rest of the seven, he's a complete angel. Throughout the original work, he doesn't really get involved in any of the sadistic things that the other members of the seven do, and by the end of it, he comes out as one of the only survivors alongside Starlight. In the graphic novel, he's more about money and just maintaining his image. In all honesty, he doesn't get that much to do in the comics, and he's often seen complaining about how he's relegated to just stand in the background whilst other members of the group get their time in the spotlight. After the events of the comics, he actually joins a group known as the True, and that's really the last that we see of him. Now as for the show, he's far more expanded upon, and we learn that, like most of the other members of the Seven, his mother was injected with copious amounts of Compound V when he was still in the womb. When he was growing up, he started to discover his powers, namely his ability to talk to fish, and though he thought he was going crazy, his mother told him that he was just born that way. Unfortunately for the character, he became severely self-conscious over his gills, and this put him off from ever letting anyone in. Thus, he was unable to form meaningful relationships, and whilst he quickly rose through the ranks as a teen heartthrob, he became more and more dead inside. Is that the right phrase? I don't know. Look, either way, because of his popularity with women, he started to view them as disposable objects that he could use and abuse, and this led to him exposing himself to Starlight in order to blackmail her into giving him oral. In the first season, the Deep taunts her about this, but Starlight ends up in turn almost exposing him to the world at the Believe Expo. The public join the dots and realise that it was the Deep behind this, and thus Vought decide to act. Worried about the stock drops, they force him to apologise and then send him on a sabbatical out in Sandusky. Though Vought initially promised that he might be able to return one day, he discovers that this was just a lie and they want him to remain out of the spotlight and stay as a small town hero. This pretty much sets up his arc for both the seasons, and we watch as he does whatever he can to find redemption. In season 2, he's arrested once more for exposing himself, and after being bailed out of jail by Eagle the Archer, he joins the Church of the Collective, a Scientology parody. Under the guidance of Carol, he's promised the opportunity of rejoining the Seven as long as he sticks to the rules and keeps drinking cool and delicious Fresca. Carol is pretty much someone tasked with rebuilding the image of fallen soups, and through the church, after they're accepted back into Vought, they get a cut of the profits. Carol finds him a wife called Cassandra, and they give the guy an apology tour that wins favour back with the public once more. When Queen Maeve wants to enact her exit strategy, she goes to him for help and promises him more positive publicity in exchange for finding the wreckage of Flight 37. After he comes across footage of the incident, he hands it over to her and then recruits A-Train to the Church of the Collective. I actually got to see episode 8 early thanks to Amazon, and though I'm not going to spoil anything, let's just say it's going to be interesting to see where things go down the line. Spoiler-free reviews for the finale are allowed at this point, I think, so I can say that he has one of the funniest lines in the entire season, and yeah, you're gonna love it, even if he didn't. Now, if you're watching this in the future and have already seen the episode, then you know yourself, so let me know where you think things are going to go with him. As for the character in general, I have to say he's one of the most unintentionally funny in the whole series. I think it takes a great actor to pull off a complete subplot that doesn't really feel all that connected to the main run, and Chance Crawford does a great job of portraying someone coming to terms with the fact that they did something reprehensible. The Deep is a really interesting character, and it's going to be interesting to see where things go from here on out. I would absolutely love to see him grow long hair and a beard to start a riff on the DCEU version. For the show, he's primarily based around the comic book counterpart, but give the guy a hook for a hand or something, please. It'd be amazing. Now obviously I'd love to hear your thoughts on the character and what you think will happen down the line. If you enjoyed this video and want something else to watch, then make sure you check out our full breakdown on the theory that Black Noir is closer to Stan Edgar than you might actually think. We're also going to be doing full character breakdowns on the Seven, so keep your eyes out for all of our coverage. Don't forget we're also giving away 3 copies of the Marvel Phase 1 box set, and all you have to do to be in with a chance of winning is like the video, make sure you subscribe with notifications on, and drop a comment below. The winner is going to be chosen at random on the 30th of October, so make sure you get involved. If you want to support the channel and get to see content early, then please consider clicking the join button below. You can also come chat to us on the Discord server linked in the description, or at Heavy Spoilers on Twitter. Thanks for making it until the end of the video. You've been the best, I've been Paul, and I'll see you next time. Take care, peace.